SRA Nation.
We're excited to get this season off with a bang.
I think they're all taking tires. And on top of that, it's going to be saucier. It's going to be an all-out shootout to the end. He's got line of sight on these guys.
I commend you for the bravery. He's getting this close to the diffuser.
All you gotta do is win the race. You don't have to lead a whole bunch of laps.
Oh, they're going to be side by side going into the next corner.
Oh, that's a big contact in the back of the field.
Can't stay out there like this.
He stayed in it!
We're off and away for SRA.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to SRA. Tonight, we're at Valencia for Round 5, Division 3 of the Season 10 of SRA. We got a great one in store for you tonight. Tonight, it's me, Landon, with Fazli and Stephanie Fisher in the commentator booth. Should be an exciting one. What do you guys think about this one?
Yeah, I think it's going to be quite an exciting race. We got some good racing up and down the field last night, so hopefully we get the same thing today.
That's right. Yeah, Valencia can be a fairly difficult track to make some passes in and whatnot. But these D3 drivers showing us last week what they had in store, and with all the technical difficulties solved, we should be good to go for this week. So Valencia here, it's sort of like a Barcelona sister track. It's got a lot of the same feel to it. Turn 1, very fast sweeper, left-hander. Really have to be on the limits, abusing the track limits as well. Coming into the turn 2 braking zone, one of our main passing zones of this entire track. And then as you go in through the sector 2 complex, tight corners, you have to trail brake into them to set yourself up for the back stretch out of turn 6. Turn 8, turn 9, and turn 10, super kind of medium speed sweepers. Into turn 11, our other big braking zone of the track, and you look for some passing there as well. Turn 12 is a fast right-hander kink with curbs on either side. If you clip the one on the inside too much, it'll send you straight into the gravel. The one on the outside too much, well, and then there's track limits, and it'll upset your car. We saw some mistakes last night from that. Turn 13, you're setting up yourself to get a decent run for turn 14 on the back to the front stretch to complete your lap here at Valencia.
Awesome. Whoops, didn't want to do that. I was going to look at our standing for the team series and where everybody's at. So we've got in the gold division, being led by the Mr. Speed himself in P1 right now. And followed behind him, 20 points, is Draven Doyle, who's then followed by Mike Gino, Mr. Molyneux, and Mr. Mueller for the gold division. For silver, they're being led by Jeremy Reeder, followed by Andrew Reif, Chris Sweeney, Noel Maxwell, and Eduardo Rodriguez. Still, there's a little bit of gap coming in there, but it's still, there's room for them to definitely be mixing around and gaining and losing. They don't really lose points, but gaining some more points on other people.
line. Go, go, go.
They're only 1 point different there, so that'll be quite a race between those two teams. Oh.
Time to do it.
So while we're waiting for them to start up their qualifying session, we'll give a quick thank you to our SRA sponsors and title sponsors for supporting us here at SRA, as well as support from Documise. Modern business solution for product management. Go to documise.com to learn more today. And support from Retro Saga, North American-based gaming company that provides accessories for your favorite classic systems, including Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation, and much more. Enhance your retro gaming experience today at retrosaga.ca. And a thank you to our affiliates, Track Racer. Experience redefined gaming with Track Racer's high-quality sim rigs and accessories. Use code SRATE at checkout to support us. Armamentario, a toolbox for ACC that will enhance your chance to win. Enjoy fully customizable and enhanced HUD to change the way you experience ACC. AT3D Sim Shop, upgrade your sim racing experience with premium 3D accessories featuring precision crafted magnetic shifters, sleek cable management solutions, versatile streaming deck mounts, and immersive dashboard displays. Their innovative designs enhance performance and style. We all know that looking good makes you perform better. And To Go Setups, premium esports setups for everyone. Use our affiliate link on our Discord and take your drive to the next level. And let's check in and see how this qualifying is going. They're just getting started now.
Yeah, so our silver division's out and getting their warm-up laps in. The track temperature tonight, it's not too hot, not too cold, pretty much perfect for setting a hot lap around here. So there's not much tire warm-up needed. Everyone should be getting a good 6 laps if they can all keep their cars on track and keep their space in front of them to the car. But we're seeing now people starting their hot laps.
So I haven't looked at the current leaderboards for the lapping for this track yet. I don't know if either one of you have, to see who you think's going to place up at the top for this one.
I have not either, but let me pull those up.
Yeah.
Let's see who we got
We're
currently.
very well prepared here.
Looks like Mueller and Overhausen in the Ferraris, Griffin on the Door team. They're currently sitting at the top of our times, both with identical 30.78s. So pretty speedy times out from them. That would be good enough for a D1 silver pole. So they definitely have some pace tonight. Ferrari and Andy Speed's also looking pretty quick. He's P3. In the silver division, though, it looks like Reif in the Porsche, Arct in the BMW, and Potnev in the Ferrari also look to be having some good pace around here, so we'll look to see some big things out of them tonight. As we're already seeing some laps come in, Reeder in the Aston, he's already set a quick lap, but just a banker, he can still improve on it.
Absolutely. Take a look at Sweeney running around there. And there, it looks like they're already making getting better than their last ones.
Yeah, we see Williams there with his that lap going 6/100ths faster than Reeder. It's good enough for provisional pole for now.
Arct is a half a second up. I have to sort of zone in on him. So we got his livery running this week after a little bit of finagling and working with the Awesome Sim Racing to get that showing up for us. So that's his lovely livery that we can finally see now. It is. So I had to make sure we showed him at least once. I'm sure we'll see him again.
Doesn't have the SRA logo on it.
Oh, yeah, well, if that is the case, then that's a bannable offense. We'll have to verify that one because there's some serious penalties.
We're working on it. We're not all the way there yet.
Yeah, joking, of course. But
absolutely.
Looking good out there.
Yeah, meanwhile, Smith actually is the first car to dip into the 31 to the 31.78. Everybody's improving though right now. So we only got 8 silver cars on track. So, you know, good points on the board, or 9 of them, I should say. Good points on the board if they could just finish the race. Actually, that's not true.
Yeah.
We've got 11 of them. I just missed it because they haven't set a valid lap yet. And they're way off the board.
Well, yeah, that's another point around here at Valencia. The track limits, they can be pretty brutal. Turn 1 gives you lots of room to run off, but that's pretty much the only one. Everywhere else, you have to stay within the white lines or the curbing, and that's pretty tough to do sometimes, especially in your qualifying setup when you're trying to extract the most out of these cars around the current track. It's easy enough to pick up a track cut here or there in these qualifying laps. It's really easy to invalidate one, and before you know it, you're stuck with one good lap, and who knows if it's the actual representative best lap.
Yeah, and it's these track limits will continue to haunt them through the race too. It's been a pretty unforgiving track that way as far as giving you an actual cut for stepping out of those bounds.
Yeah, but there's time to be gained if you can manage to walk that thin line.
Yeah, Art is actually almost, what, 9/10 of a second, almost a whole second up right now. He's coming out to close out his lap, so.
That'll be good enough for P1 if he can stick it. Rife, though, let's see, Art across the line, and it is good enough for P1 by 1/10 over Rife, who just set his personal best.
Yeah, see how fast it can go when your car looks good.
Yep.
Certainly helps. One thing to note, Rife looked like he was right on the back of the BMW in front of him. Looked like he was getting a pretty nice toe up the front stretch, but had to sacrifice his next lap in order to gain that space again.
It's like Smith is half a second up.
Oh, that is the commentator's curse right there.
Sorry, Smith.
Instant curse.
It's easy enough to do, though.
Absolutely. Back to Mr. Reader.
Yeah, it's brutal. Those McLarens do not like that curbing there. You saw it a lot.
Yeah. Everyone's out on track. There's only 3 people in the Valley Lab right now, though. So.
Yeah. Gosh. It's tough. The silver division, they'll actually start their qualifying stints in a fast. So there's definitely time to be gained if you can stay on track with your tires in a good enough spot.
Yeah, I think when we raced last night, did it go optimum like at the start of the second lap, something like that?
Yeah, it was right around there. But even so, as the track rubbered in, I mean, you'll easily find another 10th in it. And it should help for the gold and silver divisions. We should see a pretty even split. I know we didn't do one, but nothing's ever for sure around here, and we'll see how it shapes out. Who do we got? Smith actually is on a pretty quick lap himself right now, up half a second, going into sector 3.
So
nails the braking zone and manages to avoid the curbs. Goes for a wide line.
He'll definitely take the P1 here.
Losing a bit of time.
A little bit.
But even still.
It's enough.
By 800ths, as we see the parking lot jam in the pit lane there off the side of the screen. The Golds are fighting for position here. So they are going to be leaving in a minute. So everybody on track right now is probably on their last laps or about to start their final laps.
And no one really improving so far, except for Levine. He sets his personal best, good enough for P10. Maxwell, curiously enough, he's been in the pits for the last couple of laps. Looks like he may have had some technical difficulties or just decided he put in his best laps and calling it quits there. He's still P5 though, so it's a decent result from him.
Smith is coming in.
Yeah, these guys, they are not setting their fastest laps, so they're just getting some late pit lane practice. Reader, though, he's up 5/10. On for a killer of a lap. He'll nail his braking zone. With one corner left to go. Oh, looks like he may have ran out of gas.
There.
Something happened there. He lost all of it.
Yeah, it looks like he's running out of fuel there.
Unfortunate. He was on for a heater. That would have been good enough for,
Aston
if not
things.
pole, second. Yeah, don't we know it? Tough race last night, but that's okay. Water under the bridge and we'll move on. Let's see. Who else is on some flyers?
Let's see. Potbennen's 3/10 up.
He's going to cross the stripe. Good enough for P6.
Yeah, jumps about 5 spots there. Good effort from him.
Solid lap. And that's our silver division done.
Yep, so Smith takes provisional pole by 800ths over Art, another 10th back to Riff. That makes the top 3. As the gold's right now about to start the first flying lap to see how it ends up later in about 10 minutes, so 8 minutes from now.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, right now the track's optimum conditions. Everyone's finding their gaps.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on Mueller and Olhausen. See if they can dip into the 30s like they did in the outlet leaderboards.
It's now or never. All that practice throughout the week. Now it's time to put in that work.
Those countless hours.
All for the camera, perhaps.
Perhaps.
Yeah. And we did get confirmation Reader ran out of fuel in the last corner. Super unfortunate for him. Would have wished he had just had that 1 extra liter in it, I'm sure, but part of it's still a solid result from him. We knew he had the pace for it. We'll look to see if he can make up that space. Mueller gets a little wobbly on the curb there. Little wide, but that's okay. He keeps the car underneath him. It's just going to be his first banker lap, though, so just feeling out the car, feeling out the track, seeing what it's going to have to offer for this session. Already goes provisional pole. He's quick.
Oh my, it's 1:31.3.
Certainly showing what he has to offer in terms of pace. Already, I mean, we're not seeing anyone yet get close to his time in the gold division. Johnston in the McLaren, he just goes P8 provisionally with a 31.9. Boonstra go P9 right behind him.
All right, sorry, we were fiddling with some technicalities back here. So
No worries. What do you say? Should we do an onboard for one of these laps and seeing
Yeah.
see what one of these drivers
I
have to
thought so.
offer?
I was looking through the list to see who we should ride on board with, but it looks like Mueller maybe might be about to start a lap. So you
Yep,
want to take us through?
Yeah,
We're
can
there.
do. So Mueller comes across the stripe, gets a decent run at the last corner. I mean, his last lap was good enough for provisional pole, and he just goes for it again. Spots his braking point just in the left brake marker. Goes a bit wide though. That's going to compromise his exit. Manages to keep within track limits. Monsters over the curbs. Didn't think that was possible. Keeps a nice tight line through turn 2. See, as he sets up this one, still stays onto the curbs. Cuts it real tight, avoiding the green curb on the outside though. Just modulating the brake as he gets into turn 5 there. Spots his braking point just after that white stripe there. On this back stretch, there's a lot of time to be gained, but those track limits are brutal if you go just a bit wide there. He goes for a more wider line. His brake markers just at that right white stripe there. Goes for a later apex, which should give him decent exit speed. Monsters over the curb on the left. Stays a bit far out of the curb on the right. Gets his braking zone there, but goes super deep. Gets a decent exit though as he goes for that later apex. Probably just his line, and it's clearly working for him. Manages to get woed down in time. Avoids the curb. Wants to stay very far away from the curb on the outside though. Stays way on the outside for this last corner. Gets a decent run through it. But he is 4/10 down on his personal best, and we saw that just on board with him, where he could improve just those little spots where he went a little bit too wide. This next lap, he'll look to be doing that. Gino behind him will go for P4, but White Scarver immediately just goes P3, rockets up the leaderboard.
yeah, bunch coming over soon. Adams is 6/10 up on his lap, and if he can keep that, he will take P1.
Everyone finding their pace around this track now. Only 3 minutes left to go in the session. It's now or never for these drivers.
Absolutely. It looks like that bounce might have hurt him.
Johnny Air comes in with a solid lap. It's good enough for P5 at the moment.
Adams jumps up to P2.
Solid lap from only 1/10 between him and Mueller in the lead.
But Mueller is currently a little bit up on his. Oh, that'll be hard to beat.
Threads the needle, but gets a bit wobbly on the curves on the outside. Keeps it together.
Yep.
He's still up on his personal best and gaining even more time.
Looks like it might be the first car into the 30s, and he is 30.9.
Only just, but good enough. It's a solid lap from Mueller. Gino goes P2. Everyone's setting their hot laps in because here comes Doyle, last week's winner, going P3.
Yeah, Mueller's up there in P1 looking good and improving slightly. His teammate, however, doesn't look to be having the best of times.
Yeah, we saw he was quick in the practice servers, but just not being able to connect a whole lap here together, it's tough to do.
Yeah,
It's a lot of...
I personally found I would get in and you'd have a great run of laps, and then you go in the pit, you come back out, and you just can't pull it together the next run. It was really weird. The oddest thing.
It's tough to do. Doyle will call it quits there, only fueled for 5 laps, and looks like his last one wasn't good enough, so he'll call it quits. Good enough for P3 at the moment.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Not bad at all. Highest Porsche currently. Overhausen perfectly rights those curbs. That should set him up for a decent exit.
Mueller.
He's up on his personal best.
Mueller carves off a little bit more time now.
And just when these drivers think they have a chance to improve, maybe get provisional pole, Mueller moves the goalpost yet again. That's a 30.8 for him.
Yeah, Gino is only less than 2/10 behind him. We've actually got 5 different cars in the top 5, so that's nice to see. It's 2 Ferraris, but it's 2 different Ferraris.
You'll have to keep us straight who's driving which one. Or at least me.
So Mueller is in the Ferrari 296, and I believe White Scarver is in the 488.
Okay.
Unless I'm misremembering, but I'm pretty sure he is.
The one you finally call the real Ferrari.
Yes.
Okay.
Neil Sutherland currently P23. He's up on his personal best. That'll move him to P20. Just 2/10 in it, but that's good enough for a couple of spots.
Allen's looking to curve just a little over a 10th, but that would bring him up a few spots if he can manage to hang on to that.
Right, Scarver had 2/10 in the bag and loses it over the curbs there.
Oof, the wiggle there.
We want that back, but qualifying time has expired. These drivers are on their final laps now.
Yep.
Olhausen's coming to close his laps, actually 2.5 tenths up. That should bring him up a nice bunch of places up to P5. So much better performance from him there. Saved it for last. So a couple more cars on track. Jess Osborne's coming around now to close out his lap. It's a little bit up. Might be enough for 2 or 3 spots if he can hold this together. And he does. So it should be a run down to the line.
Stripe. Boonstra in front of him will stay P15, and Jess Osborne moves up just 1 position to P18. And that'll solidify our grid for tonight's race. A decent division split between gold and silver drivers, though, with Smith up there in the silver looking strong in the top 10. It's a fantastic qualifying session. We saw some really quick laps come out of a D3 tonight. Mueller sets the fastest practice server laps and was able to translate that into qualifying and goes P1. If he's able to pull this together, have a clean race tonight, that'll be yet a 5th new race winner. We'll see what he can do, though. Gino right behind him, though. He was P1 in Kyalami for week 1, and he's already up on the standings. So already a solid result from him. As we go through the grid, White Scarver in P3, Adams in P4, Overhausen in P5, Doyle in P6, Johnson, the highest McLaren, in P7, with Air right behind him, Smith and Allen. Group of McLarens there.
We'll take our
Get a little
walk.
grid walk. Yeah, check out these liveries now that we got them all sorted.
We do have, I think, almost all of them all sorted.
Looking good out there. See, where were we? Andy Speed on the Ferrari. We know he has speed too. So currently leading our championship. Reif behind him in the Porsche. That's P14, and Boonstra P15. Garrity in the McLaren. That's P16. Whitting Jr. P17 with Jess Osborne and P18. Maxwell in the other Porsche running P19.
I'm liking that purple. That's a pretty purple. Not to interrupt, but that's a nice color.
It's a good look. We like to see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Sutherland in P20, Potvin in P21, Sweeney in the McLaren in P22. Reeder pushed him down to P23. Williams in P24, Levine P25, and rounding out our grid is Zach Sky in the Ferrari in P26.
All right, and it's looking like we getting ready.
Just about getting
Get
going here.
started.
Everyone getting their final setup tweaks adjusted, making sure they set up the strategy for tonight. Since we're alternating our strategy, this will be a 1 liter of fuel mandatory, no tire change for pretty much all of our drivers, barring any strange results. That's your optimum strategy, which should sort of give way to differing strategy, whereas our tire changes, it's usually optimum pit at 30-minute mark. With this strategy, though, you can pit early, get that open track to try to set some quick laps outside of traffic, or you could opt for the usually more popular strategy of just pitting late, get your service done at the last minute, and end up wherever you lie. We saw a mix of that strategy last night, but to varying degrees of success. If you have the pace for it and you're not exactly where you want to be, I mean, we saw that from Reader. He was pretty quick in qualifying, just wasn't able to put one final lap together at the board. He's got the pace for it. He might decide to pit early and try to make up some ground there. Drivers start to warm up their tires. Doyle just driving through the grid, which is an interesting strategy, going for a late brake push, maybe just try to get some heat in there. Seeing some weaving of routes too.
Yeah, I have to admit, when they do that going through the grid, it throws me off. I feel like I should be dying.
It's definitely a bit uncanny looking at it, ACC, maybe not the peak of realism as far as that goes, but offering us a bit of a levity and that we get to see some crazy tactics on the outlaps here.
Absolutely.
Everyone's getting the call now to go 2x2. So I'll keep an eye out here in the back to try to catch any calamity, but hoping for another solid result. D3's been one of our cleaner divisions. Admittedly, they've had a decent time showing respect for each other on the grid, and so I expect nothing less from these drivers. It's always a high class of driving.
Absolutely, they have demonstrated a high bar of respect and gentlemanly racing.
Yeah, you like to see it.
Yep. They're lining up here for the green light any second now. Gino's actually in P2, but actually starting ahead, and there we get green light.
He gets a decent jump, maybe jumping the spot a little bit, but the Aston turbo lag, that'll leave him behind, vulnerable for the Ferrari behind him. They'll go nearly 3 wide into turn 1. Manages to straighten it out.
Commitment.
Everyone's still pointing the right direction out of T1. T2, big braking zone. It can really clog up on the bottom. We're seeing some accordion effect, but everyone's still pointing straight. We're still 3 wide, though. There's all sorts of calamity. We're seeing a bit of wobbliness coming from Adams in the Porsche, but he still points it the right direction. Really solid Sector 1 thus far.
Great racing from everyone.
Yes.
A little bit of contact there, but everyone made it out okay.
A little bit of bumping. That doesn't hurt too bad.
No.
It can be forgiven.
This isn't a non-contact sport, so.
That's right. They go 2 wide into this big braking zone. The Ferrari takes a deep dive on the inside. He'll get that spot on the McLaren and gets choked up by the Porsche on the outside. McLaren will get a big run going out the outside, though.
Yeah,
Andy Speed's compromised on the inside. 2 wide's tough around here. No. And Speed will just pit maneuver the McLaren, and we're stacking up. That's super unfortunate for them because they were so clean thus far, but 2 wide around there is just destined for danger.
Not where you want to be.
Immediately into the pits.
Yeah, they'll be looking to fix some damage and get some clean space, and maybe clear their head a little bit after that hectic turn or lap 1.
Yeah, Mueller's still sticking on Gino's rear bumper here. Mueller started in P1 but got jumped into turn 1 by Gino around the outside, and he really wants to get the place back as soon as he can.
Yeah, it was an opportunistic move from Gino from P2 on the grid. Not sure how he managed to skirt from a penalty there, but he nailed the start. He's able to grab a lead into turn 1, and he's looking to pull away now. As Mueller goes deep into the braking zone, manages to slow it down in time before running into the back of Gino. Maybe just showing his hand a little bit. Scare Gino into a mistake. It's a viable tactic around here, as it is difficult to pass. You're sort of waiting on the driver in front of you to make that mistake, to open the window for you to make a move.
Absolutely.
Another deep lunge off the brakes. That Ferrari looks aggressive.
Gino looked like he missed the apex there a little bit.
It's going to compromise his exit. The Ferrari's right on his bumper. It's going to stay in the tow.
I was watching them in the qualifying, and it looked like the Ferrari had a slightly later braking than the other cars were. And
White Scarver behind him takes an opportunistic move, as well as Mueller goes for a really tight line on turn 2. That leaves the door open for White Scarver, but they all remain in their current positions.
And gives Gino a little bit of breathing room, not too much.
Which he would appreciate at this current moment.
Alan has been flirting with air. See how they're doing.
Dang, it just seems like they're going super late in the brake zones, but that's maybe the line they're more comfortable with.
Yep. And that's what I was noticing with these guys too. Just they really late in those brake zones.
Usually a characteristic we see out of the Porsche, but the D3 drivers tonight showing us that the Ferraris and the McLarens also have an ability to do it. Mueller goes up the outside of the last corner, maybe just sets up Gino with a more compromised line on the last corner. Gets a decent run still. They'll remain in the same positions, but he's not giving up easily.
Nope.
Peeks on the inside just to show face a little bit. Doesn't go for the move. Smartly done.
Yeah, Gino should just basically disable his mirrors right now.
Oh no!
Or not.
We saw another late lunge from the Ferrari. This time wasn't able to get it slowed down in time. That'll spin Gino out. A little bit of a half spin though. Manages to keep it the right direction. Opens the door for White Scarver though. He'll go P1 now.
Yep. White Scarver was just hanging out there waiting for it to happen.
Yep.
Perfect place, perfect time.
Yep. He's got a nice second then on P2 and Gino, so we'll see if he can hold that.
Yeah. Hopefully Gino didn't get too much diffuser damage there.
Yeah, it's crucial around here.
Yeah, that would be rough.
you don't want to start sliding around on your rears. They get bad enough on mid zone without any help. So
yeah, we were seeing some pretty bad tire wear. I got down to 1.3 after the chaotic race that was last night for me.
I went down to a 1.22, but you probably would have to if you actually had fuel in your car for the last couple of laps.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if I was still on my hot lap pace. That'll happen.
Always add an extra couple liters just in case.
Lesson learned. It'd been a while since I had run out of gas, and that was a cruel reminder to do so. Still a solid result though. Everyone's
so
still
now,
yeah.
I was gonna say actually everyone from P2 through about almost P9, they're all about half a second apart from each other.
Yep.
We're seeing some crazy tight racing from these drivers right now. Everyone keeping a nice train together. Perhaps some of these drivers looking to get their service done, they'll break away from this train and find their own gap. We've already seen that been done from the first, we'll say 8 drivers or so. It's got their service done. Rife right now currently leading the pitters. He opted for a really early pit on lap 1.
Yeah, a bunch of those drivers probably were from the damage on the end of that lap 1 when he had a small little mix-up.
It's true. There's
So we'll
speed
see,
coming out of the pits.
Yeah. Most of them had about a 34, 36 second stop, but Maxwell, Garrity, and Sweeney running the bottom 3 right now, they all stopped for a minute or more. Sweeney actually stopped for a minute and a half.
Yeah.
Time in the pits anyway.
It's just fixing their damage there, probably. Unfortunate that it happened, but at least it happened early, so they have a chance to recuperate some of that lost time.
Yeah. If you got good race pace, it might not be the end of the world, because driving in clean air, you can make up most of the time rather than being stuck in traffic, being stuck behind someone who you know you can go faster than them, but your speed delta isn't enough to actually pass them.
Yeah, around here, it takes a pretty hefty speed delta to be able to make that move, get alongside. I mean, I was seeing that even some drivers that had like a full half-second pace differential in the race still weren't able to make the move. They'd be able to recuperate the space and you know, get right behind them. Just there's very little opportunities around here. See that right now from Zach Sky. He's right on the bumper of Whitting Jr., but just no opportunity. Actually, Whitting Jr. gets a bit wide. That leaves the door open for Sky. He'll have the inside line. The crossover goes for a bit of an under, but Chris Whitting Jr. shuts the door. An exemplary defense there from Whitting Jr. in the Aston. Sky's not giving up though. He's a bit wide.
See, yellow flag for Smith.
I'll grab. Yeah, you got that
I
replay
got it,
there.
yeah.
I'll watch some
We'll
of the
see what
battles we got
happens.
going on.
Oh, looks like it just locks up his rear,
yeah.
breaking on the curb.
That's a shame.
Really unfortunate for them.
Yeah. No damage, but hopefully he didn't burn up his rear tires there. It take quite a bit of work to bring them back in line.
Yeah, for sure. He was our silver pole there, and he was on for a decent race there. So the McLaren poked the nose just a little bit, but doesn't go for the move. It wasn't nearly close enough to be able to send it into turn 1.
The white Scarver so far with the purple lap at a 31.8. Still out front. Has a 1.3 second gap to Gino and P2. Gino still has Doyle right behind him though.
Take a look at them.
And it actually looks like White Scarver is about to catch a back marker there, or if not catch, at least he has him in his sight. So
already,
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, I believe that's Sweeney.
Sweeney's has had a lot of damage from that lap 1 incident. Right, super close. Yeah, we're riding on board with him, and we got it on our main feed now. Super close to Adams there. They both had the needle.
Yeah,
The
then
Porsche behind him, really over the curbs though.
Yeah, the two Comic Racing, Boonstra and Osborne right behind, just waiting for something to happen there.
We've seen it before where them two can work together, make up some positions, and right now they're being kind of held up from Adams and the Porsche in front of them. That BMW is all over the back of them.
Yeah, Allen and Johnson actually ahead of them. Actually, just went side by side. I think through turn 1.
There.
And they still are in turn 2.
Wow.
Still side by side. Getting the move done though.
Yeah, it looks like they've settled back in line. And if we look further back again back to Art and with Boonstra and Osborne on his tail.
Yeah, he's trying to get in there with Adams, and that slows him down. And then the other two are catching him, and well, it's just making for quite a battle.
Yeah, Boonstra is trying to make herself known in the mirrors of that BMW, but I don't know if you can bully a car twice the size.
That thing's not really going anywhere.
Yeah.
She's all over the back of it, though, trying to convince him to make a mistake. BMW monsters over that inside curb.
Yeah, she's taking way tighter lines than he is, putting the pressure on him.
Yep.
Osborne elects to pit right now instead of being held up in this battle.
Probably not a bad idea. Gets the service done early. Definitely was losing time battling that close.
Yeah, there's no point in both of them losing time in the battle there.
Yeah, it's a good point. Could be a bit of a team call there. Run alternate strategies and potentially one have the more favorable strategy gets a better result.
Yeah, we ran alternate strategies in our team last night. The strategy was Dan was actually going to fight for a podium and I was going to fight for like the bottom 3.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a different one there.
Yeah.
Guy is still trying to get past Whitting. See how they're
So
making
how much
out.
time do we lose here in a pit stop? Something like 30 seconds?
Yeah, I don't know actually. I didn't do my homework on that and can't really use my example from last night to base your judgment on because I had a very slow pit stop. So optimum would definitely be probably around that 30-second mark. Is typically or typical for these kind of races.
Yeah.
35 seconds.
Yeah, as we see Whitting Jr. actually go jumping over the curb and losing a lot of momentum. Sky tries to go around the outside, but Whitting holds the inside line.
Just looking for any gap around that Aston. Still nothing in it. Deep on the brakes in the Ferrari though. Gains a little bit of ground, but just with nowhere to go.
Yep. This really shows how hard it is to make it pass here.
No joke. Which, I mean, shows up front why White Scarver managing to get around that bit of an incident we had there in turn 2. He's already been able to pull out a second gap from Gino in P2.
Whitting goes deep. Sky gets the tighter line. Are they going to go side by side through this pink right here?
They're going to try.
Manages to get it slowed down. The space is left on the inside there. Very respectful driving, and that'll move Sky up to P13. Solid move from him.
Absolutely. He's got to be sweating right now with that one.
Yeah. Happy to finally have got that move done and now can try to make his way back up to this battle as we see the BMW poking the nose into turn 1. That's not the place to do it.
Boonstra just waiting to take that spot from him.
Swings all the way around the outside there.
Stays on the outside.
Which gives her the inside for the next corner if she can hold it.
Yep.
And she
goes a little wide. Late on the brakes though.
Wow.
This is side-by-side racing around Valencia.
Great driving from
gets
everyone
the move
here.
Done.
Yeah.
That was great move from
Nice.
her. Spotted the opportunity.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She committed to it the moment she saw that opening.
Yeah.
She got rewarded for it.
Wasn't gonna let that one pass.
Yep. So meanwhile, further down the field, Speed, who's actually running, I think he's the second car out of everyone who's done their pit stop.
Yep.
Doing really well here. He actually has the fastest lap of the race, 31.852. So showing that he has some speed.
Yeah, if you will. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Rife in front of him being the leader of the pitters, though. they'll be looking to get around that Porsche, looking for a mistake, just like Boomstra was able to do.
Absolutely. I'm sure Speed's not happy about that earlier incident.
Nah, definitely not. Looks like White Scar was able to get around that blue flag, but that'll send Garrity into a line of competitors he'll need to get out the way for. I don't envy that position to be a blue flag around here. It's an unfortunate spot to be in, and not of his own doing either.
So up ahead, White Scarver looks like it's just cleared a back marker, and the train of cars behind him, Gino, Doyle, and Mueller, all had to navigate around them as well. Looks like they lost a little bit of time. White Scarver now with a 2-second gap over P2.
That'll stack up this train though behind him.
It is. You've got P2, 3, and 4 back pretty tight.
Yeah, they're all running within a second of each other. So, well, between all three of them. So.
Yep. So, and it really is pretty tight all the way down until you get to P9.
Doyle peaks on the
And there's a
inside.
gap.
Doesn't make the move stick. That'll compromise his exit though, and Mueller's right behind him.
Now he goes from attack to defense.
Yep.
It's easy as that. We saw it from the BMW just a few laps ago.
Yep.
Yeah, for all these cars in a train, typically, you know, if you feel you've got more pace in the car in front of you, you take your pit stop and you undercut them, or you try to go for an undercut, race and clear air. If that's something you're thinking of doing, you don't want to wait too long, otherwise you're going to come out, you know, blue flag by the leaders or something like that. So up and down the field are pretty tight, so
Right.
you're not really in danger of that if you're, you know, in the top few positions, but further down the field, if that's what you do, you don't want to wait too late.
Yeah, potentially that you could come out into traffic again, which sort of nullifies the whole point of finding your pit stop. But these front runners clearly have the pace; they'll be able to make the space. But the thing to note is, I mean, you don't have many pit stops here. It's just the one, so that's your one move. If you're gonna play it, got to time it perfectly. The battle between Gino, Doyle, and Mueller. There's a bit of a gap made now. They're all settling in still, but
Yeah, we're on board right now with the closest battle on track. One of the closest anyway.
That looks like he's grabbing Whitting. And
Oh,
almost.
shows his
Not
nose
quite.
and pulls out of the move, but maybe gets a better exit. We'll see.
yeah. I wonder what happened here, because Whitting was the one that got passed by Sky earlier. So there must have been a bit of a change of position there that we missed. But Zach Sky is going to look to have to do this move all over again.
Yeah, it looks like they're having quite a battle this race, so.
Super
almost-
tight out of turn
Someone's
2.
pushing him into turn 3 and 4 here.
Wow.
No, that's not a move.
There's not a lot of space there. He tries to ride the curves, but that door gets shut almost immediately.
Yeah.
It's a bit loose on exit. That'll let Whitting Jr. get a bit more space. Up front, everyone's still maintaining their gaps. Not seeing too much passing going on, just a lot of people running really close behind another driver, which is tough to do around here, especially in that like right-hander kink in Sector 3. It's not easy to be running this close behind someone.
You got 2, 3, and 4 are getting real tight again.
Zach Sky's right behind Whitting Jr. again.
Yeah, he's moving left, he's moving right, he's trying to look for any sort of opening or make an opening.
Yeah, and the Aston's not really putting up a huge defensive line. It's not like he's going like mega on the inside. Just running the racing line's good enough to put on a strong defense around here. This guy's got to be fuming behind him for another lap.
Or he's having a great time. One of the two.
Oh, is someone in the wall?
Yeah, I was grabbing that here in the pit.
Oh,
That was Potvin.
Got on the
we will let
replay.
you grab that while I keep
Yeah.
an eye on Sky.
Unfortunately, this is the second time we saw him this race do that same exact maneuver. Gets a bit of oversteer out of the kink and just sends it into the kitty litter. No damage at this time, so I'll go back on track.
Yeah, Sky continuing to put the pressure on Whitting Jr. here. Whitting Jr.'s got to keep his wits about him.
This guy with the zingers. Sky though peeks on the inside. That's not a space for a move. The space is left by Whitting Jr., but they'll go wide. Leaves the track. Probably doesn't gain an advantage though. He'll keep the spot. All this battling though is Braden Smith right behind him. We know he's got the pace.
Yeah, Smith qualified P1 in our silver division, I believe.
That's right. Had a bit of a mishap there, but yeah, we know he's quick. Overhausen, he was one of our front runners in that top battle for P2. He makes his pit stop and he ends up ahead of Rife, so he's the leader of the pitters currently. By 4 seconds, he was able to eke out a big gap.
Jess, you're looking to make a move on Sutherland.
Super tight as the BMW cuts across the nose of the Porsche there.
Oof.
Decides not to go for a move into that corner. Peeks his nose on the inside. Gets super close.
Whoa.
Gets
Sideways.
moved with a late lunge. Unbelievable move. The second week in a row we've seen a great move from Jess. That'll move him up into P19.
It was a great move. It looks like it was sideways on the brakes as he got past him.
Yeah, that was amazing. He's definitely been putting on a show for us here.
Yeah. SRA's lead commentator, lead broadcaster knows how to make it a real spectacle out there.
Yeah, man's got hands too, showing it's not just all about the show.
Yep.
Yeah. Real tight race up here for 3, 4,
We
and
see a
5.
bump.
Oh, that's not
Mueller
ideal.
gets into the back
Sorry,
of the Porsche.
guys.
Was that Mueller and Doyle?
Yeah, respectfully,
Oh,
we'll
somebody
keep
else
the
is-
position, but
Potvin.
It's
is-
Potvin again. It's off track.
Wondering if he didn't
Okay.
mess his tires up there.
For a second, I was wondering if that was Whitescarver who went off.
yeah, that would have been unfortunate. No, this is just sympathy spin from Potvin again. Unfortunate for Doyle and Mueller, they'll settle into P7 and 8 again, but
Wow. Boonstra is flying through that corner. She's not waiting around.
Porsche
the
on
space is
Porsche
left on the
racing.
inside.
Ooh,
Oh, that's tight.
very tight.
Nice.
It's a drag race going down the front stretch.
Slips in the
good.
back.
Yellow flags on the back with Reeder and Sutherland.
I'll go grab that in the pit.
And they're both... Oh no, it just goes deep in the brakes and spins him around.
Yeah.
Is that the same spot that we saw Doyle and...
That's right. It's very similar spot there.
Yeah, it's really easy to do it there. It's so tempting because the normal racing line is you brake kind of wide and do a late apex, and it's so tempting as a car behind to just stick your nose up inside it.
Yep.
You always feel like you can just brake a little bit later, and it's so easy to just brake a bit too late.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
and Mueller coming out of the pits gets his service done. Looks like he did not opt for any sort of damage repair, so he's still running with that same damage from the front wing. But with all that battling going on, he moves from one of our front runners to now P4 of the pitters.
And there's Selena Boonstra again, trying to make it go down the inside. She's gonna switch around to the right now. It's a little bit too far back. She goes but
Adams goes super wide.
And
The
they're
space.
gonna.
Surely she's got this move done now.
Yeah. Oh no, he comes back.
No.
Oh, she's forced over the sausage curbs, but they make it out alive. So
That's
The
unbelievable
nimbleness.
control from those Porsches there.
Yeah.
that ended up a lot better than I expected.
Yeah, that could have been disastrous for the both of them.
Yeah.
Boonstra those gets the move done.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That was.
Both. Yeah. Somebody goes really wide out in the back there. And it almost looks like he was considering going to the pits and came back out.
A couple of pace changes while we were watching that fight, but it was so intense. I just couldn't look away.
They both go deep on the brakes.
It's Sky and Whitting again.
Yep.
Whitting Jr.'s got the inside for this complex of corners. The old crossover maneuver. Zach Sky peeks to the inside. The space is not there. He's right underneath the wing of Whitting Jr. He's putting on a masterclass of defense right now. Sky's got to be fuming underneath that helmet. Whitting Jr. goes wide, deep into the braking zone.
Yep, but he'll probably just hold the inside for the next corner then onto the right side.
Yep.
If he manages to
Or
get
he
slowed
goes
down
deep
into
again.
the Sky with a huge lunge.
Oh, no.
Oh, the space was left. Whitting Jr. gets super loose on the outside there. They're not going to go too wide here. Surely not.
Please
They will.
No, Whitting
get
actually
line.
gets initially a better exit, but Williams is about to just jump both of them. Maybe it's three wide into the last corner, and he jumps both of them.
This is some unbelievable racing.
And they're still going down.
No way they're going to go four wide again.
Is D3 going to do 4 wide through the T1
Surely
every week?
They are 3 wide in the front stretch. Zach Sky is going to go back 2 wide. They're 2 by 2 going into turn 1.
Oh,
Unbelievable that Whitting Jr. and Williams are able to go 2 wide through turn 1.
Yeah, somehow after all this, Whitting Jr. ends up ahead of the pack again.
Gosh, and Zach Sky loses another position, this time to Williams, and it's just, he knows he has the pace for it, just cannot find the space to get around these cars in front of him.
And make it stick. That's the thing. He gets around it a little bit, but then something happens, they get jostled, and he ends up in the same spot.
He's had opportunities for it, just wasn't able to make the move done, and now he's sitting in P12.
No, Whitting must be just sweating.
Is it just me, or is one of the McLarens in there? Is that a pack marker?
Surely, yeah, because the leaderboard shows that he's not up there. So, yeah, that's Sweeney, I believe, there in that group of drivers. So, just admiring the battle he's seeing in front of him, not able to get the move done or anything.
Yep.
Yeah, the red one, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, he's got a front row seat. Can you blame him?
I'd just sit back and watch. Yeah.
Maybe you can ride on board with him to see what he's seeing.
Sure.
Yeah, you got that.
I'll get that. We can do that. We'll just be his passenger.
The Ferrari gets a little bit into the dirt, all over the place. This is the best seat in the house right now.
Yeah. I mean, Sky is just... He keeps slipping out of his grasp.
He's loose inside the corner, or like on entry to the corner. He's loose on the exit of the corner. Just using up every bit of those tires. But I mean, he's fast. He's right behind these drivers still.
Yeah,
See
there's
Williams
probably-
speak to the inside of Whitting Jr. Oh man.
And they are stacked up.
The view from Whitting Jr.'s rear wing is probably great too. As you watch this guy jump past the Williams there.
Yeah, that was a really
Ooh,
good
a little
move.
wing shot.
So opened up a little bit of gap between Sky and Williams when they were battling. But I mean, it's in that one braking zone alone, Sky makes up all the time.
And it seems, I mean, I might be wrong, but like I know driving the Porsche, that seems like, you know, Sector 1, it was great. And then there's the later Sector 3, it's just losing time. So it seems like maybe some cars are better at certain sectors than others, and that might cause some play in here. For some
Yeah,
drivers.
definitely. That Aston's pretty strong in the mid-speed corners. But it seems like those heavy braking zones of turn 2 into sector 2, and that last corner that Ferrari's just able to have that pace differential.
Yeah.
Whitting Jr. goes super defensive. Zach Sky with the only opportunity on the outside of the corner shows his nose, but that's not the fastest way around the track.
Nope.
Oh,
This is
Sky goes a little bit white there. Just tiny bit of momentum. Gives Whitting Jr. some breathing room.
Whitting Jr. gets a good exit. Sky goes a bit wide, but he'll have the toe on the front stretch. That'll give him easily a few tenths.
Yeah, we haven't had any drive-through penalties in this race yet from track cuts. I wonder how many we'll see by the end.
Alright, it's still early days.
Hopefully.
Yeah, 25 minutes in.
Maybe we won't see any. D3's pretty good about
You
not getting
know,
penalties.
he just cursed this poor division.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw a handful in even just the practice race, much less the actual 60-minute race. It's pretty tough to be on the ragged edge like these drivers are.
Oh.
As we see Sky just get into the back of Whitting Jr., get the old bump and
Oh.
run. That'll open the door up for Williams behind, who has the inside line. Gets the car woe down in time. Their accordion effect.
It's like
Sky will
gives
lose
him a
another
little bump
position.
again.
Oh my goodness. I mean, credit where credit's due. These guys can race. They're making moves. They're getting them done.
And there's Sweeney's keeping his front
The
row seat.
lunge!
Oh, whoa, whoa.
Sack Sky with an unbelievable lunge on the inside of Williams.
Yeah, we saw him try that move a couple of laps ago. Oh, he has to
he-
slow right down for this, and
Curbs.
yeah, I don't know if he got helped around a little bit or not, but he had to slow down so much over the curb, so...
Yeah,
I'll grab the
you're
replay
pretty
of that
sure
just so
he
you can see
did.
exactly what happened. But looks like he just slowed down over the curbs, and yeah, Sweeney behind him may have gotten into him, not expecting that big slowdown from him.
Yeah. Oh,
Super
we see
unfortunate.
our first drive-through penalty.
Counting him up. That's one.
I knew it.
Unfortunate for Adams.
Sorry, Adams.
Gosh.
And this
But-
from the guy who every endurance hands me the car with 3 drive-throughs on it.
I'm sorry. I drove an hour and 20 minutes without getting any cuts at all. And then Stephanie walked over and shoved an orange in my mouth as I went to brake for turn 1. And in 2 laps I got 3 track cuts. And then I gave her the car.
Some mid-race nutrition wasn't what you needed. You were locked in already. But you were testing fate then, and now you're testing fate tonight as Adams
Yeah.
gets the first drive-through. He was P9. He was having a solid race, and that's going to
He was.
hinder his performance.
And here's Jess Osborne now on the tail of Art. pushing him along. Oh, Zach Sky actually gets a stop and go 30? We're speeding in the pit lane.
Like it. And it goes from bad to worse.
Must be that frustration of being stuck behind someone, trying to pass them all race, and ending up losing into the spot instead.
Yeah, we're gonna see him teleport back to pits.
Disqualified.
Oh, he got disqualified.
He must have just been speeding way too much.
That's super unfortunate for him. That is not what you want to see.
It is.
I hate it for him because he was put on a show.
He was. It was a great battle. We were incredibly entertained.
Yeah. So Sky is out of the battle, but it looks like Whitting Jr.'s. Oh, Williams actually just gets past Whitting Jr.
That's right. I'll see if I can catch that.
He just did so.
Oh yeah, it looks like Whitting Jr. just gets super loose into turn 1, goes super wide.
Wow.
That'll open the door up for for Williams behind.
Scared Williams there. He went all the way to the left, not knowing how far across.
Yeah, but I mean, incredible credits due. That Aston was full lock sideways, and he was able to keep it straight, only losing 1 position. That's well held in the grand scheme of things.
Speed still back here behind Rife, trying to get past. After his that one unfortunate lap.
Yeah, that's right. Still behind Rife. we know he's fast. He just is so hard to pass. Overhausen, who's the leader of the pitters.
And we might have helped him out with that.
There we go. The
curse.
It's in full effect tonight. Finally finds his way around him.
Is the commentator's curse stronger when it's on another commentator? Is it like doubled?
Could be, yeah.
It might be. And looks like
exponential. It's Whitting Jr. He'll come into the pits, get his service done. Overhausen, I was gonna say he's our first of the pitters, and he's actually caught up to this Whitting Jr. Whitting Jr. and Whitting Jr. and Williams battles, but with the Whitting Jr. getting his service done, that's one less driver have to pass for position.
Looks like Boonstra has caught her pits on also. Came out in P8. Well, 10 now.
Yeah, up at the front, White Scarver just pumping in the laps. Got almost a 5-second gap over P2. It's Gino.
Yeah, he's putting on a clinic out here.
Yeah, his last lap's a 32.6. Gino doing a 33.3. Maybe traffic had a part to play in that, but White Scarver's doing a good job right now.
Sure. And in fear of imparting some sort of curse on him, I will refrain from commenting on his performance, but doing a pretty decent job.
I think his teammate got all the bad energy already.
Yeah, I guess if you're gonna focus it in on, one driver will have a decent run.
It looks like the Comic Racing Porsches would make an arced sandwich here. In fact, not
it's a nice meaty
position.
sandwich.
Yes, it is.
Oh, so he gets super loose on exit. That'll be invalid lap, but probably not a track cut as he got pretty slow. That might open the door. Nah, Osborne too far behind.
Yeah.
Are you implying that you don't get a track cut just because you lost time in ACC?
As he goes a little bit wide again, I guess we'll see. You'd think there's a science to it, if you lose a couple hundredths here or there, it won't actually count it, but there's not. It's pretty well random.
Yep.
You can do the same thing over and over again. You could even lift and be off track and it'd still give you a track cut for no reason. It's
You can
brutal.
off track into a wall and get a track cut.
Oh, gosh.
She's got experience.
The old one, too.
Yeah.
Do you see Air and Fisher spot positions?
Yes,
I'm going to try to catch that on replay.
We did. I see that.
Those are teammates. So maybe a bit of team orders with Fisher not being able to get past Gino. They caught up to him. Let's see. Air just gets a decent run right behind him on the inside.
At some point, Speed sped past Rip. Right.
We tuned into Rife
Oh.
again on the same curves, gets loose.
Yeah.
It might have something to do with it.
Just as long as we avoid tuning into Rife as he's on that right-handed
curve,
kink.
okay.
Yeah,
Let's,
we'll be fine.
Leave the poor man alone.
But we saw a solid move from Air. He just was real
Yeah.
late on the brakes going into last corner. Gets the move done. That'll move up to P3. Right behind Gino.
Reader is looking to make a move on Sutherland, and
It got real hairy there in the last
did.
corner.
He
Parks
pressed him
on the
in
apex.
Yeah.
Respectfully lets the BMW maybe buy, or is he just going mega defensive?
That's a
Yeah, okay,
good
yeah,
question.
He's letting him buy. That's a
yeah.
good move from him.
Yeah.
He had the move done, but just compromised his entry too much. He slowed it way down, left the BMW nowhere to go, and opts to do the gentlemanly thing and give the position back.
Oh, that's not the line.
That's not gonna do well for either of them as they both go wide out of turn 2.
Yeah, meanwhile, Olhausen, the leader of all the cars who have pitted, finally caught up to Williams, who is the first car who has not pit, the lowest car who has not pit. The two of them right now are about 43 seconds behind the leader. So this actually affects Olhausen's race because if he gets held up here and the car's in front pit, he's probably hoping to make up a lot of time on them.
Yeah, that's right. He came in, I think he was P5 whenever he pitted earlier in the race, so he had a decent gap already to the leaders, but being stuck behind Williams, who hasn't got their service done, not going to help his case here in his bid for a top 5 performance.
Just had to check. They're battling for the second last, and Sweeney has slipped by Potvin. So
This
Probably
battle's
getting a little
all the way
close.
up and down the grid.
Yep.
We saw Sweeney get involved in that first wreck, and Potvin with his myriad of incidents. He's falling down the grid once again. But hey, still a race to be had. So there's proof that you should just stay in the race, because there's always some competitors out there that are with you.
Absolutely.
White Scarver is doing excellent up ahead in the 488, while Potvin in the back looks like he's got the 488 from like 1.8 version of the game or something.
It's like Smith went off with a yellow flag on him. I don't know if you can grab that for us.
Yeah, I can do. See what happened. Oh, I was too far
Whoop,
behind.
It's already sideways. It
He
looks like he's
got
just
a
lost
little
it on the
loose.
brakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. This late in the race is easy for the rears to go, especially when you're trying to do some trail braking on the curbs. Ooh, who's there
Enter
right
back
behind
onto
him?
the track. Yeah, it's Whitting Jr. right behind him. Get compromised, but they both stay out of each other, and Whitting Jr. will get the move done later on in the lap.
And in the meantime, Reader has cleanly made it past Sutherland.
Williams is in the pits.
That'll release Oberhausen now.
Yeah, Williams was pitting from P8. Moves Olhausen, Speed, Riff, Mueller, all the way down to Osborne, up a spot. So remember, Whitting Jr. and Williams earlier were fighting, so we'll see where Williams comes out.
That's a good point. Williams exiting the pits now. Have to stay on the
and Whitting's
outside of the
coming
pit line, but I think he'll
down that
keep
line.
the position.
Yeah, he actually has a few seconds, couple seconds of gap to Whitting Jr., so he actually made up a lot of time there.
Yeah, that's well done. Had a decent pit stop, and Whitting Jr. maybe compromised a bit from Smith spinning. That'll leave Williams with a decent gap. As the other Ghost Rider Racing Hoagie Hose machine is in P2, Mike Gino, but with Johnny Air right behind him. Saw Air make the move on Fisher. When he got that done, he was a second behind Gino. He's been able to claw that back in just a couple laps. There's only 13 minutes left to go in the race, though. Not a whole lot of time. These drivers still need to get their service done.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on Olhausen's looking to make a move here, pace-wise. He's about 35 seconds behind P5 at the moment, so P1 to P7 still yet to make the pit stop. Olhausen's probably just hoping he has clear air from now till the end of the race.
Yeah, this will be his time to finally set in some flyers. Andy Speed still with the personal best purple lap though with the 32.6. They're a bit far off of that now. Oh, sorry, 31.8 is the best lap. Yeah, and his last lap was a 32.6, but Speed still setting quick laps. He was the quickest out of everyone that last lap. It's only 3 seconds behind Oberhausen, so it's not done for them yet.
Yeah,
Johnny,
of course. He's 3 seconds off Olhausen, but he's got Riff less than a second behind him.
yeah, it's still all to play for.
Yeah, further back here, as we watch here, the Arc sandwich. Selena Boonstra goes a little bit wide, gives Arc an invitation to dive up the inside the last place. He wants someone to do so.
Gives him the invitation, but then shuts the door in his face, and they'll remain right behind each other. It's not a very good opportunity there, but that'll compromise the exit. It's super tight. Potvin on the exit. Wow. BMW's got a hell of a run though on the front stretch.
Speed just slipped by Fisher.
Which that looks like they go too wide into turn 1. Boonstra stays on the outside, still has this position. But that'll give Arc the inside to turn 2. They're still side by side. It's entire first sector. But that opens the door for Jess.
Maybe that was the plan all along.
Hits into him a little bit.
Yeah, he lets him go.
No.
Very respectful. It was really tight margins and just getting to the back of him a little bit. I think he does again there too. That'll leave Boonstra out with a second gap now. Finally some breathing space after being hounded by that BMW for the better part of 20 minutes.
Yeah, these Porsches are looking really racy right here. All race actually.
That's right.
So they didn't have the best qualifying performance, but they're definitely making up for it in the race right here. Just being patient here, but it's got about 10 more minutes to make a move if he's going to do one.
That's right. Just watching Air as he got super close to Gino up there for P2, but he gets a little loose coming out of turn 4. The gap will widen up just a little bit, but under braking, he makes up all that time back again. These drivers are going to need to get their service done eventually.
Yeah. Further back, we've got Whitting Jr., Smith, and Levine close to each other.
Take a peek at those while you keep an eye on Air there.
Yeah. Both the Astons here.
Yep.
Defending for their lives.
Smith gets a great run out of the last corner. They're going side by side down the front straight here. Let's see how they enter turn 1. They still look to be side by side. McLaren holds the inside line. Forces the Aston wide. They both have a compromised line that invites the BMW behind them to come in. Levine sends it down the inside of Whitting Jr. there.
It's a lot of space given, and the BMW will find his opportunity. Will get around Whitting Jr., get the move done.
Goes a little bit deep, but gets to carry more speed through and keeps his place. Now he's probably going to just look forward, hopefully, for him. Going to take a defensive line into turn 6, 7. Looks like he's got the place sealed right now.
Yeah, it's well done. Meanwhile, up at the front, we saw Johnny Air get his come in to get his service done. He's coming out the pits now. Keeps it within the limits, and he's well ahead of Overhausen. So now he's got some open track to set some hot laps and try to make up that difference with Gino, who was the driver in front of him. Only 8 minutes left to go. We should see these top 5 come in here pretty shortly. White Scarvers managed a 6-second gap to the driver in P2.
He's just out there hot lapping away.
Yeah, that's right. 6 seconds is a pretty healthy margin. He'll be able to keep that if he keeps a clean pit stop. And he's going to stay out another lap.
Yeah, I'm resisting the urge to say anything about all the things he could get away with the gap.
That's right. Gino decides to come in. He'll get his service done. Manage to get it slowed down in time. We'll see where he comes out relative to air behind.
And air comes up the finish line.
Gino just getting his service done.
Yep.
He's dropped from the jacks. He's super close to the exit, so he'll be immediately up to speed.
Yeah, he's gonna compromise the line though. He's gonna stay out far wide. So.
Gets the move done. Air up to P2. Gino, quick flash of the lights to show his disapproval of that move, but it was a clean one. Gets it done in the pit stop.
Yeah, Gino now has Olhausen right on his tail.
That was well done from all accounts.
Yeah.
That just leaves the top 4 drivers now with needing to get their service done.
What place was Gino in before he pit?
Gino was P2, 6 seconds behind White Scarver. And White Scarver will dive into the pits now. He's coming in hot. I think he gets it slowed down in time. That was a speedy pit entrance, and with a 6-second gap, you would think he could be a bit more conservative, but wanting to optimize every part of this race, White Scarver putting on a clinic.
So now that puts Alan up to the lead of the race. Of course, he had to stop. Alan and Doyle left together to make their pit stops.
And that will give them some screen time here. They've been putting in a solid race thus far. From pit strategy alone, they've got up to the lead, but they should fall back here.
White Scarver comes out of the pits in P3 comfortably, so he'll easily. I mean, it looks like he's only.
Oh yeah, with a healthy
20
gap
seconds
to air.
Yeah.
Overhausen right behind Gino there. Gino goes a bit wide on exit. The door is shut right in front of Overhausen, and they'll remain
I think
behind each other.
Olhausen had to pull out of that a little bit before he got cut off.
It's going to be a dangerous situation if he didn't. Oh, super tight margins. It's Johnston coming out of the pits right in front of Fisher.
Yeah, I'll expect Olhausen to try and send it down the inside coming to the right-hander here. Oh no, in air.
Is that right? Oh no.
Loses it. Actually comes in fine and comes out not fine.
Not.
Just a little half spin that he couldn't quite catch. That'll turn a solid P2 finish into, I mean, he's falling down the order.
Yep.
P11. He'll want that one back for sure.
Olhausen makes it past Gino.
Oh, it looks like I missed it there, but yeah.
Oh, we're both.
I think. Yeah, I think he sent it up the inside of that hairpin on the right there.
He must have.
Yeah,
it's a clean move. Gets it done.
Looked like he was lining up for that.
So
that brings Olhausen up into P2 right now.
Solid recovery drive. He was our pole sitter, but through all the adversity, able to manage to put it all together with that undercut. So you see Doyle and I think that was Rife coming together in turn 2 after Doyle comes out of the pits. It's all popping off here with 3 minutes to go as different strategies are coming together. As Mueller also coming together with Rife.
Was not a strategy.
That is not the one you want to employ around here. Mueller will lose another few positions there.
Yeah, Mueller not having the best races today. He's been involved in a few incidents. Probably one to forget for him.
They're too wide into turn
Unfortunately.
1.
Amazing.
This is
Oh, you
Whitting
don't want to
Jr. on the
go.
outside. That's a little wide, but
Yeah. I'm not sure how many cuts he's got at the moment, but
No more cursing, people.
well,
yeah, you don't
just
want to get
as-
a drive-through. Oh, does Podvin just get a drive-through?
I think so. Yeah. So another commentator curse in full effect. That's 2 for the night.
Podvin's taking it all of the bad energy in place of White Scarver.
That's right. White Scarver, the 2 bookend Ferraris here. White Scarver in P1 and Potvin in P24. Solid result though for the night, for the team at least. White Scarver being able to make up a lot of ground in the points. Dino though not being outdone by Overhouse, and he's still right behind him. Still a minute to go. That'll be probably 2 laps.
Boonstra makes it pass around the outside. We'll see if she can make it stick. Looks like she does.
They've been playing a little cat and mouse here.
Looks like that BMW's getting a little bit tired being the meat in the Porsche sandwich there.
Yep.
Wants to get around him so bad, just no space to do it.
Possibly feeling a little targeted at this point. Having the one in the front, one in the back.
Yeah, right.
That's got to be nerve-wracking.
Oh, that's another drive-through here for
That
Adams.
was Adams. He just picked that up on the exit of turn 1. He was really compromised being right behind Whitting Jr. and that was going to ruin his result. That's crushing.
Yeah, we're on the final lap of the race right now. We're still having a close battle, not for P1, but top 10's pretty close battles up and down.
Yeah, Austin.
Another drive-through comes in now for Williams.
Oh, they're all getting him now. That's 3.
And 4, 5, 6 is pretty tight.
Yeah, we'll see if anybody gets desperate. Hopefully not too desperate.
Hopefully not.
Looks like everyone's got fuel though.
And up.
That's
Air
nice for
got
them.
Past, finally got past Rife. He's working hard at that. Well,
Yeah. Rife just kind of gives it to him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Two of them.
Yeah.
Just getting over there.
Must have been some switching we missed
Williams coming into the pits to serve his penalty. That'll drop him down the grid spots. Still super tight battles though here for P5.
White Scarver is about 20 seconds from coming home.
Yeah,
Right here.
He's just getting into the final corner here. I mean, just with the healthy gap, he's 9.6 seconds ahead.
Yep. And here comes our race winner, Austin White Scarver, in the Ferrari 488. Excellent drive from him. It looks like, I think it was flawless. I don't remember seeing any incidents with him.
Got the lead and was just able to keep it the whole race.
Yeah, Olhausen comes in for P2, Gino P3, Allen, Speed, Fisher, Johnson, Doyle in quick succession, followed by Air and Mueller to round out your top 10.
Rife in the Porsche, he'll come on P11, and Boonstra, Arced, and Jess Osborne will finish out that Porsche sandwich. Arced, after the end of the race, finally gets out of it.
Yeah.
But he'll come home P13. Sutherland, he's next across the line. It's P16 from him. We saw Smith come on P17, and as these drivers finally finish off a tough fought race here tonight at Valencia. We saw some amazing battling for a track that's notable for not being able to battle. So it was a great race from these D3 drivers, putting on a show, and Austin White Scarver ultimately getting the win. That's our 5th new winner of the season. He was originally P9 going into tonight's in the standings, and that'll bump him right up. Yeah, I couldn't be happier. That was a great race.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Fantastic.
See if we
White
can't get some
Scarver
of
must
our...
be absolutely to the moon right now.
Yeah, he must be floored. It's a solid race from him. And I see him popped in there, so we'll see if we can't drag him up. Hey, Austin White Scarver, this is Landon Fasley and Steph in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I do.
Wow. Great race from you, putting on a clinic out there. You end up winning by 10 seconds, but I noticed you had to make some moves out there. You found your opportunities. How did you see that contact in front of you and was able to spot your move?
Honestly, I knew that Felipe was probably going to send it there because he was lining up the move. Just kind of unfortunate that they made contact, but thankfully he decided to drift out with Mike, and I just kind of took the apex like normal. It was kind of split-second decision, just be like, take normal racing line.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, obviously that worked. Yeah, it was right place, right time then. And then after that, it was just a matter of setting some hot laps and creating that gap. Did you have any sort of problems? Like, how are the track cuts for you?
Surprisingly, only one.
Only one? That's really well done
Wow.
around here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kudos.
It was that
Yeah.
comfortable, huh?
Yeah, I can thank Dan the Man Cran for the setup on that one. He made it very comfortable for me today.
Hey, shout out to him.
Dan makes excellent setups. I'm another beneficiary of that, of course, being his teammate.
Yeah, they are phenomenal. I've liked them so far this season. So
there you go. This win will move you right up the standings. If I'm not wrong, is this your first win in SRA?
I mean, technically no, but
Okay.
I'm counting it as my first one because my first one happened in season 5 when I was D5, and then proceeded to get bumped up. I really don't count that one.
Sure,
Hey,
so this
hey! I was in that season in D5 with you. You got to win.
I did.
I
did.
It
You
counts.
did.
It counts. No, it's a solid result though. How are you liking your chances coming into next week for Spa?
Well, unfortunately, I'm going to be missing Spa. I'm going
Oh,
to be out of
no.
town, so that's going to result as my drop race.
Okay, well then,
Aw.
enjoy your time off. Then you'll have a decent time to recover with that 2-week break for you. But we'll look for big things going into the last 3 races here. Anyone you want to shout out?
Yeah, I want to shout out Mike Gino. Really, the past 2 seasons we've been really pushing each other back and forth. Last season I kind of fumbled the bag a little bit here and there, and he capitalized. And tonight we pushed each other, and I was able to capitalize on some incidents, and I kept it clean.
Hey,
All right.
hey
shout out to
Austin,
him.
it's Bosley here. I just want to say congratulations on the win, and I want to also, you should probably thank your teammate because I think he took all the commentators' curses for you today.
I will have to thank him for that one. He was a huge help tonight too. He was in voice chat with me, so having him there and just kind of keeping me calm was really helpful.
Yeah, there you go. Well, congrats again. We'll let you get back to the race recap.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah, of course.
Yep.
Who else are we seeing up there in the top?
You
We
were.
saw.
So
is that
Olhausen and
Olhaus?
Gino. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
See if we can't grab Gino here, or I guess Overhausen. You said he was.
He was
up
me
there.
too. Yeah.
Yep. He's in the chat.
There we go. Hey, Thomas. This is Landon Fasley and Steph in the booth. You got us.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah, well done tonight.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm a little ashamed of that pass. It looked like a great move, and it just wouldn't stop.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
yeah? It's part of it on worn tires, right? It's hard to get
Yeah,
everything
I
down
mean,
in time.
down to the last couple laps.
Yeah,
I
not
thought I was
bad.
gaining enough positions to get up there to catch White's cover, but when I finally saw where everybody came out, it was like, oh, he's a lot farther up than I thought.
Yeah, he managed to build a decent gap up there. But I mean, you guys are putting on a show up there for P2. I mean, the decision to pit early, what went into that?
My teammate was already saying that we were being held up by some cars ahead, and I was like, well, I'm back here a few pit positions back, and I see an opening in the track, and I went for it, and it worked great for a long time, and I had a couple amazing just people ahead of me that decided, hey, well, there's a car coming, I'm going to go ahead and pit, and it was unfortunately one person decided not to, and fought me the whole way and lost me at least 8 seconds.
Oh, that 8 seconds you wish you would have had back, because that would have put you right up there with White Skyver in the end. But
Absolutely, yeah.
ultimately,
I would
yeah.
have not even had to fight anybody. Just came out, maybe looked at the back of his car for a couple laps, and then crossed the finish line.
Oh man, that would have been nice, right? Yeah, I mean, you had the pace for it. You came into the pits, I think P5, and whenever you had your clear space, obviously you're able to make up ground. You netted P3, and then was able to get around Gino there at the end. But that was still a great race from you, and you know, can't ask for anything better around here. Anyone you want to shout out?
Yeah, SRA for putting this on, and Douglas for hanging in there, and you guys for sharing your time with us. I really appreciate that. It gives me an opportunity to show everything what I'm doing here with my family and friends. And my teammate really helped me on this setup because I was fighting the car for 200 practice laps, and he's like, "Well, try this." And finally, I didn't have to fight the car anymore, and I can actually practice new lines and get better and faster, and ended up with a alien time on a hot lap. So,
Not bad.
That's
200
right.
laps.
oh, that
Is
was just the beginning.
crazy.
Yeah, I think I put 600 something in this race.
Oh, I couldn't imagine. You're putting in
Wow.
some work.
You
Wow, and
spent countless hours on this one.
quite
I
literally.
did, and it paid off. Actually, I mean, my teammate did as well, and Philip Enos was, he pole position, and I thought we were gonna end this one too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
bad
he
then.
that's
With 2 weeks now for Spa, I mean, do you have another 600 laps in you?
I mean, probably.
Oh, okay.
Can't,
Watch out,
can't
these
let the
guys
secret
going to
out
P1.
yet. No.
do you have
Well, each
600
race
wet
is gonna be
laps?
different too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
1200 exactly. Yeah.
Oh
Yep.
my goodness. Well,
Yep.
you are the part of the strong few that can manage to do 1200 laps. Props to you, but it clearly pays off.
It was,
Absolutely.
I mean, we came from D5 last season, and it took a lot of work to get here, and it's a lot more work just to move our way back up. We thought we were going to do well in silver, and then they put us in gold, and okay, we got to work harder.
Well, congratulations. It shows. You're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you guys so much again. Yeah, really appreciate you putting it on too.
Yeah, of course. Our
Thanks.
pleasure. Let's get back to it. Thanks. Okay. You said Gino is our other one, so I'd like to get his side, his opinion
Yeah.
on that battle. Hey, Mike, this is Landon, Faz, and Steph in the booth. You got us.
Hey guys, yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Well, it was a solid race from you. Able to jump them on the start there and get into P1. But I wanted to get your take on that contact at the beginning of the race and how that all played out.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, so I'm not really sure. Yeah, I was shocked that I got the jump with the turbo lag. So I was happy to be in first.
So were we.
And then yeah, and then yeah, I thought I was clear. He was getting very close to my rear in a lot of corners, so I was nervous about it in a lot of corners. And then for whatever reason, that corner, I just saw him up the inside, and then I did try to do like a quick maneuver, but it was just a bit too late, and caught my rear quarter on him. But yeah, I haven't seen it in full, or if I moved over, if he broke late or what. But
Yeah, sure.
it was just unfortunate. But
Yeah,
I was
it's
happy to
part
see
of it.
Austin got the lead from it. So
Yeah, he was able
small
to squeeze
wins.
right past. But for you, there was really no dull moment. As soon as that happened, you had just a numerous amount of drivers behind you. I saw Johnny Air was able to get like underneath your wing for a good 10 or 20 laps. It seems he was there the whole race. And then at the very end, even in the last stint, as you came out the pits, always someone behind you. How did you put up such a good defense?
Well, I'm sweating. Yeah, it was it was a race, that's for sure. I didn't think I was even like podium fast going into it, so I expected cars behind me to be up on my back and I'd have to defend. So I had Doyle for like half the race, and I'm not sure what happened to him. And then Johnny Air and Scott Fisher came behind, and they were flying. But I just basically tried to hold my line as much as I could. No one was really peeking on the inside at all, so I felt pretty safe. There was some slight contact at the very end, but I mean, besides that, it was pretty much just trying not to look at the rearview mirror, because it's tough to pass in the track. I was waiting for the sends into turn 2, but no one was ever quite close enough for it. So I was fortunate that I was getting good runs down the straight. I figured out the last corner like about 30 minutes in, so that helped me a lot.
It's a good time to figure it out.
Yeah, it took a while, but
And hey, the best defense sometimes is just a good offense, and it clearly worked for you. I mean, with a solid result, obviously you won in week 1 at Kyalami, so this should put you right up there in contention with the championships. How do you feel going into Spa next week?
Well, that's what I'm hoping. Andy Speed was kind of near behind me, and he was leading, so I'm assuming he's still kept the championship lead. I didn't anticipate being in the championship at all this season, so I'm just happy to be up here. So I like wet races though, so I'm excited for Spa. I don't like Spa, but I like wet races, so I hope that helps a little bit.
Yeah, it'll balance out.
But I think the rest of the season is going to be tough to maintain. But either way, I'm happy that I'm at least in the fight.
Yeah, for sure. You're putting on a show out there, and we love to see it. Anyone you want to shout out?
Bendy Brew, of course.
Hey, shopbendybrew.com.
And anytime I'm on here. That's it. Shout out to Chris, my teammate too. I was in a voice chat with him, and it sounded like he was going through it today, just fighting off people as well. So,
yeah,
so we
he
had
was putting on a show for us here also.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I just heard a lot of like noises coming out of his mouth that weren't words, so it was fun to listen to. But yeah, that's it. That's all my shout outs.
That's fun. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Well, let you get back to it. Appreciate the shout out to Benji Brew and Ghost Rider Racing. Yeah.
Cool.
But
Thanks,
have a good
guys.
night, man. Well done.
You guys too. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, that about wraps it up for another great week of racing with our Division 3 racers. Another nice clean race from them and some fantastic racecraft they're showing us.
Yeah, it was a good time, and I look forward to next week at Spa, where we I guess in 2 weeks after St. Patty's Day at Spa, where it's one of the toughest tracks with the toughest conditions, and so we'll see these D3 drivers put on another show there too.
Absolutely, we look forward to it, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.